Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Catherine. I make junk journals out of old books like these ones and like this one that's going to be my next journal. And if you're not new here, then you recognize these two. Here's Ada Jane, and she's all done and beautified. She's ready to go. Unfortunately, I'm up in Canada, and our postal workers are on sort of a work to rule kind of strike. They're apparently still negotiating, but in the meantime, they are not doing any overtime, and they are not shipping any packages. So that means that these will I'm not going to put them up for sale yet because Canada Post is my way for shipping packages. So I will be doing a flip through of them, and as soon as Canada Post is back up and running smoothly, because it'll take them a while to catch up. I'm sure they've got warehouses full of packages. Hopefully they're not accepting them and just not sending them. I don't know. Why am I going off on that tangent? So, so Once Upon a Time is all done. And oh, she turned out so pretty. I'm really, really happy with all the things that are in Once Upon a Time. And she's really, really beautiful. Let's put that little charm out so it's showing. And this one turned out beautifully. This is 1891, and then we have Miss Ada Jane here. And Ada, let's see if I can just slip her off for now. Nope, we don't be lazy, Catherine. Undo the bow. Ada is 1888, so she's a little bit older than Once Upon a Time. So, as I said, as soon as Canada Post is up and running, these will be going into my Etsy shop, as well as a lot of other things. I have been cleaning house. I just made a few decisions and decided to be more realistic about what I can get done and what I won't be able to get done over the next few years. And also just made some decisions on the style that my journals have taken over the years and what I have settled into as my style. And so I have been cleaning out things in my room here. That my local neighborhood thrift store is, I'm sure, in heaven, opening up all the boxes that I'm donating. But I do have some things that will be going in my Etsy shop. I'm not kidding when I said that The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady and The Edwardian Lady, the biography of Edith Holden, they jump out at me at thrift stores. And I have quite a few that will be going into my Etsy shop. I believe I have 3 of each. So they're going to be going into my Etsy shop once it's open. And I also have a copy of that Gardener's 10-year journal that I love using in my journals. And I believe I have 2 copies of that. That book is to order it new, because you can buy it brand new from Lee Valley, Lee Valley. I believe it's .ca, or it could be .com, or both. certainly up here in Canada, it's on their website right now, and it's $70. So I would not be selling mine for $70. It's a fantastic book for junk journals because it has to do with gardens and it has oodles of room for journaling. Here I am already selling it. So anyhow, so just so you know, these will be available in my Etsy shop as soon as Canada Post is back up and delivering packages. So we're just going to have to be patient, all of us, I guess, especially if any of you enjoy either one of the Ada Jane or Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time was originally going to be a scantily clad journal. And because of the strike, I decided, you know what, I've got time on my hands. Let's make this journal pretty. And boy, is she pretty now. She's got lace overload, and then we put pockets in her, and we filled the pockets, and she turned out really, really pretty. So this is the next journal I want to work on. I just love the title. Is that a great title for a journal? The Book of Life. Such a great title for a journal. Really nice size. And I'm going to give myself a challenge because I've been cleaning my room. I've been so bad for about the past 6 journals, and that's a long time lately, because of my challenges with. I have an autoimmune neuromuscular disorder, and I also have. I have a neuromuscular disorder and an autoimmune liver disease. And they both fight each other. So it's bad enough that I've got one or the other, but with both of them, they have to be careful what medications I can take, because the medication for my the medication for the neuromuscular disorder affects my liver. Anyhow, so. It's been a long time. That was a long way to get around to saying it's been a long time. And I have not been putting the papers away. I pull a ton of papers when I am going to start making the signatures for journals. Oh, here's one of those pages from that garden book that I was telling you about. This one's been trimmed down. You can see they're really nice. They're really nice and big. See that? And they tea dye beautifully. I did that. It's usually white, and I tea dyed it. They tea dye so nice. Anyhow, so I go over to my tower of paper, and I just start pulling out papers that I think, okay, that'll be good, that'll be good, that'll be good, and I just grab tons of papers and put together signatures. And then I have leftover papers, and I've just been throwing them aside, and throwing them aside, and throwing them aside. And now I'd been throwing them in various baskets like this, and I was going to start sorting them out and putting them back into my paper tower, because in my paper tower, like, I have one shelf for accounting paper, ledger paper. I have another one for unusual paper like music, dictation, that sort of thing. And so I was going to start doing that, which would have taken me, golly, a good portion of a whole morning. And then I thought, no, I should challenge myself that the papers, this folios, and thus signatures that are going to go into this journal have to come from this pile of discarded papers that didn't get to have their time in the limelight going into a junk journal. They didn't get to fulfill their destiny. And now some of them, obviously there's way too many here, some of them are going to fulfill their destiny and become a junk journal. So there we go. And it only took me 10 minutes to explain that. We haven't even got to work yet. So if you're new here, that's about par for the course for my channel. I already got started on this and took the text block, removed the text block from the cover. And it's in nice shape. And I forget what year it is. The Book of Life. It is Bible poetry, Bible prose and poetry, I believe. Bible Poetry, Volume 5. Now I need to find out what year it was. 1923. Wow. So it is an old girl. I was thinking in my head, gee, it's in such nice condition. Maybe it's younger than I thought. But 1923. So let's see. Where's a pen? Oh my goodness. I wish I could show you my hallways with all the boxes that will be going out on my porch on Monday. So this is the Book of Life. I know I should be finding, I've got a book somewhere. Normally it's half full by now. 1923. I haven't had much luck putting together journals, but I have had a great deal of luck. Not luck, but because sitting at my desk to work on journals, it's about 6 1/4. 6 1/4. It's brought me back to 9 1/2. Doing quick, loose pen and ink sketches with watercolor. And having fun with that, and sort of doing an illustrated journal and illustrated thoughts. It's about 1 1/4. 1 1/4 spine. So usually 1 1/4 would be most journal creators that make their junk journals this way. A lot, 1 signature per 1/4 inch. I like to do more signatures that are slightly thinner. So I think normally that would be 5. So let's put 7 signatures into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and let's get my little notepad ready. I like to put these tabs. 1. I like to put tabs on my signatures 2 while I'm working in the book. This journal I anticipate is going to be a quite simple journal, possibly even bordering on glue book type junk journal because of the size of it. I think it will lend itself to the kind of person who wants to glue things in and collage. 5. 6. Hope you're all well. I've actually been good. But like I said, for this week, after I finished Once Upon a Time, which today is Saturday, so you'll be viewing it Sunday. I finished it on Monday, And since then, I've either been drawing and painting, which I don't record, or I have been cleaning this room. So I need to take out a folio to become my template. And then we're going to get working on the cover, which I'm very excited about. I want to use this painting by Jean-Baptiste Siméon Chardin. He lived from 1699 to 1779. And I don't know why, but it's called Boy Spinning a Top. So maybe it's a portion of a painting. I should look it up because there's the top. I was wondering what this was. I'll show you. See that? I thought, what does that have to do with a book and a quill and a bottle of ink? And I thought, what is this? Because that's too big to be a cork for the ink. And I bet it's actually a close-up of part of a painting. I'm going to look that up and see. Anyhow, in the meantime, let's find the center of this signature and make ourselves a template. There we go. It is going to be going into the second week of June, and I still have not been up to my Kirby book sale. That is how good I have been about my low buy, no buy year. I'm not only cleaning things out of this room, I do have some boxes I do need to return to them, and whether I can return them and not go inside and look around, I don't know, because they accept the books outside. You don't have to go inside to drop off books to donate. They have a picnic table outside, and you can just drop off your boxes of your boxes of books onto the picnic table, which is where I find some of my best books, or used to, because they hadn't been sorted yet and snapped up. And I find that if I'm leaving and there have been boxes dropped off, they don't mind if I rifle through the boxes and see if there's any good books. That's where I think I found 2 Edith Holden's just in those boxes. It's wonderful. Now, let's see if there's a cover that I want to use. Yes, there is. I want to use that. Let's take this right out, because it looks like that cover is, and I want this. So is that all one? These are all Wisdom is Better Than Rubies. All right, so that's actually going to go in. So maybe I can just use this preface as my template. Okay. So, I have to write it in big letters because it will get lost several times on my desk in the course of making this book. Template. And then I will be taking off a little bit. And I write it on both sides because if I flip it over, which I have done in the past, then I can't find it because I didn't write it on the other side. Oh my goodness. I've been sorting through. Oh, I usually take off maybe about 1/8 of an inch, not quite 1/4 of an inch off of the open side if I'm going to put some of the original folios from the text block back into the journal. And these papers are really nice quality. I usually take about that much off. I eyeball it because I can never fit my new text block in as tightly as the original publisher did. And I like there to be a bit more of a little lip of the covers. So, and then here's another thing I do, because I don't know whether it's OCD or ADHD or whatever it is, but I have wondered, did I trim the paper or didn't I? I can't remember. Did I trim it or didn't I? So I point at the trimmed side and then I put a check mark so that I know that I did trim it and that this is the correct side. It's just me. So I want to use this one. Let's see if there's any other interesting pages that I want to use. I'm not going to take it all apart because you know me, I do like to use the text block to put back in and help hold it open. These are very pretty. I do like the font. Maybe I will wait though and decide. Cedars of Lebanon. The Book of Job. There he is. Boy, he went through a lot. You know what? I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off on choosing. Oh, let's take this blank one. It's nice. That can go back in. You can go back in, and so can you. This one would be fun to use and glue it back in as a plate. The Book of Life. That's a great way to start this journal. Yes. All right, and back here. Well, that one got bent, but it will still be good. Good. Is this blank? No, it's not. All right, I'll put this aside for now. And then what I want to do with this is a plate. So that works out nicely. I wonder if I can use that. No, I want, mind you, nope. Okay, you're probably thinking, Catherine, what are you talking about? I want to, I have plans for this, and I want to line it with a lighter colored paper, because what I want to do is I want to be able to curl up the edges and make them look grungy and rolled over and maybe torn and worn and before I glue them on this, and I'm going to bring it down a bit. So I'm going to eventually trim it to just above the quill, and I'm probably going to take off that so that it doesn't take up so much space on the cover. So, but I can do that afterwards. I can glue this down for now as it is. I'm going to get my get some paper. There we go. If you hear any loud noises, it's such a beautiful day up here. It is 25 degrees out there, Celsius. I don't know what that is anymore in Fahrenheit. I've come a long way. There once was a time, it only took me 65 years. There once was a time, boy, I had to start doing all the mathing in my head. Now, I can't say that I'm completely metric because all I know is that low 20s, it means really nice. But 30s and higher, I'm a cranky girl. I do not like being too hot. That's how I know. And 0 means, oh boy, put the furnace on. So I'm going to glue this down. I will be doing my little scratch with my fingernail test to see if any of it is lifting when it comes time to, let's get you out of the way, when it comes time to cut it. I will make sure that it's all glued down, and if I need to, I'll tuck a little bit of art glitter glue under the edges that aren't holding well. There we go. All right, now what are we at? 27. I think we can keep going. What I'm going to do is let this dry. So I'm going to pause, let this dry, and we'll just keep going just for a few more minutes because I feel, as ever, that I've talked way too much and got no work done. So hold on. Okay, so this is dry, and it gave me time to research, and it is just a portion of a much bigger painting, and there is over here, in fact, you can, if it was a little bit wider, you'd see a little hand right here. Well, closer to the books up here. There's a little boy sitting here, obviously dressed, it was painted in the 1700s, so he's got a little white, his own little white powdered wig on and such, obviously a child of wealth. And he's playing with this little spinning top on this desk. So, but this is the part I like because it reminds me of writing in a journal with a quill and ink and some books and papers. So it's terrific. So let's do this. First, I'm just going to take off the this paper, and then I'm going to bring it down a bit smaller. I've got to be careful because it's not, I didn't glue it down perfectly perfect. So I'm But we still don't mind eyeballing it because we're still going to hack up the edges together. Right? Whenever I say right, I always want to say, of course, right. From Yenta in Fiddler on the Roof. Right? Of course, right. My one daughter, oh my goodness, she loved that movie, Fiddler on the Roof. We got to see it with, it came to Toronto. Harvey, oh, now I gotta find out his name. Harvey Fierstein. He played Tevye in the version we saw here in Toronto. Oh my goodness, was he fantastic. The whole thing was just so magnificent. And we just thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. So I'm going to get my vintage knife that's not very sharp. It's nice and dull, so I can really hack up the edges. Oh wait, I was going to make it smaller, wasn't I? So I want it maybe even brought into, let's take some off of this side. Definitely some off the top. I don't want it taking up too much room on the cover. So we're going to bring it in quite a bit. We'll take that bottom part right off. And then we will take a little bit off of here. But I really like being able to see the edge of this book here. So I think that's probably going to be good. We'll see. All right, let's see. I think I want a bit more of this side. Yep. I'll leave the mystery top there too, so the next owner can go, what is that? It looks like a marshmallow stuck on a golf tee. That's what I thought it was at first. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, so now I want to hack this up a bit and make it look really old and worn. Some people use the their scissors. They use this, I forget what that's called, that part of the scissors to hack up paper edges. I've always, that technique doesn't come easily to me, whereas my good old vintage knife comes easily to me. And then we'll hack that off, all that edge. Let's just take it right off. nice to have a desk where I don't really care about the condition of the top of it. It's already a mess anyways. There, that's good. Okay. Now, no, not gathered twigs, vintage photo. I don't want it too dark. I want you to be able to see it. Yeah, that's good. All right, now I want this side really, really inked up around the edges because I'm going to curl some of those around. It's so nice outside today. Hubby is going to barbecue, so all I have to do is make salad for dinner. And he is on the barbecue. Wahoo! Now, with this, I want to maybe tear some of the edge off. So much for that inking, eh? And curl that around. So let's do that. And we'll do that. And ink that. And I want this to be kind of mucky too. There we go. And maybe as you can see, this is quickly going to become one of my strange kind of books that only certain people will like and others will go, what did she do that for? There, oh, I like that. That turned out good. Is that coming off? Is that one of my little... Yes, it is. All right, a little art glitter glue on there. Till we figure out how we want this to look. Maybe I want to tear it a bit. Yeah, that looks good. I did all those, I soaked all those beautiful postcards and calling cards and that. There, that's good. And wow, did they ever come off and come out beautifully. I put them between sheets of paper and into my Jessie the Pressy. And oh my goodness, I'm very excited to go to Staples and scan them and print them off. They really turned out nice. All right, now let's see whether... Hold on. Oh, are you coming apart too? Yeah, you are. Let's just force you apart anyhow. Oh my, 41 minutes. All right. There we go. Boy, it's feast or famine around here on my channel, isn't it? She finally gets around to doing a video and it's 41 minutes long. Oh well. My apologies. There we go. Yes. That's what I like. Now I'm wondering if... putting a book plate in there. Oh, I didn't ink that where I tore that. I'm wondering if putting the book plate on there and then putting some old brass brads. Hold on. Old brass brads. I just realized these were from Bradisol lozenges. Those were throat lozenges. I don't know if you still can get Bradisol. Uh-oh. That went on the floor. I gotta find it. Phew, found it. Can't have little things like this when you have little doggies in your art studio. So I want to hold these down with some mucky old brads. Oh, that's going to be good. All right, put your imagination caps on so that you can be surprised the next time you see this journal, because it's going to look really cool. Very excited about this. All right, well, thanks for joining me today, and I apologize for how long this went on. If you're still here, say hi down below, and I'll say hi back and congratulate you. You deserve a parade and a party to hang around here for 45 minutes. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we'll get together soon and we'll see how well I do with putting together signatures with this pile of papers so that I don't have to put them back in my paper tower. Wish me luck. Take care. Bye.